The room fell silent as the words left her mouth. I'm pregnant. 17-year-old Amara stood in the middle of the small living room, her eyes filled with fear, her voice barely above a whisper. Her mother stared at her, face pale and hands shaking. Her father stood up from the couch so fast, the old wooden chair creaked under him. You what? He asked again, louder this time. I'm pregnant, she repeated, her lips trembling. 2 months. For a moment, no one said anything. Then her mother began to cry. Her father turned his back, walked to the window, and stared out. The silence hurt more than any words could. That was the moment Amara knew her life would never be the same. She had always been the smart girl, the one teachers praised, the girl neighbors said would go far. She had dreams of becoming a nurse. She had already applied to a college in the city. Everyone believed in her. Until now. The news spread quickly. It always does in small towns. By the next morning, girls whispered when she passed. Some boys laughed. Teachers looked at her with pity. The woman who sold vegetables at the corner market stopped greeting her. Even her best friend, Nita, stopped calling. One day at school, Amara overheard her classmates talking behind her. She had so much potential. She ruined her life. She's just another statistic now. Amara cried that night. She cried until her pillow was soaked. But deep inside, something began to rise in her, something stronger than fear, stronger than shame. She whispered to herself, I'm still me. Her boyfriend, Tolu, the boy she thought loved her, stopped answering her calls. He told people he didn't know if the baby was even his. He told lies. He disappeared. Amara's parents barely spoke to her for weeks. Her mother cried often. Her father became cold and distant. He canceled her college plans without even telling her. When she asked why, he said sharply, You made your choice. But Amara had made another choice. One no one else understood. She had chosen to keep the baby. Every day was hard. She went to school with her stomach growing. She sat through classes while others giggled or looked away. The teachers stopped calling on her. They thought she had already failed, but Amara studied harder. At night, while others slept, she read her books and wrote notes. Her body was tired. Her back hurt. Sometimes the baby kicked when she tried to focus. But she pushed through. She promised herself she would still graduate, and she did. 9 months later, she walked across the stage at graduation in a blue gown that barely fit. Her belly was huge, but she held her head high. No one clapped when her name was called except her mother, who finally smiled through tears. Her father sat stiffly in his chair, not clapping, but not leaving either. 2 weeks later, Amara gave birth to a baby girl. She named her Zaria, which means radiance. The baby was small but healthy, with a loud cry and eyes like her mother's. Holding Zaria for the first time, Amara felt something shift in her heart. Love? Deep and pure. Fear too. But more than anything, strength. She looked at her daughter and whispered, I will give you a better life. No matter what. After the baby was born, things didn't get easier. In fact, they got harder. Amara's mother helped where she could, but she had a job and couldn't stay home all day. Her father still barely spoke. Money was tight. Diapers, baby food, medicine, it all cost more than they could afford. So Amara got a part-time job at a pharmacy, working evenings after school. She breastfed before leaving, pumped milk during breaks, and stayed up late doing her assignments. There were nights she didn't sleep at all. She missed parties. She missed hanging out. She missed being a teenager, but she never once regretted her decision. Years passed. Slowly, the whispers stopped. The judgment faded. People saw how hard she worked, how smart she was, how strong. She saved every coin she could. She applied for night classes at a local community college. She studied nursing while working full-time and raising her daughter. There were moments she wanted to quit, when Zaria had a fever and she had an exam the next morning, when the bus broke down and she had to walk home in the rain, carrying books and groceries with a baby on her hip. But she remembered those cruel words. She ruined her life, and she used them like fire in her heart. One night, While reading by candlelight during a blackout, Zaria crawled into her lap and whispered, "You're the best, Mama." That one sentence erased 1,000 bad days. At age 21, Amara graduated with honors from nursing school. She wore a white coat and a wide smile. This time, everyone clapped. Her mother hugged her tightly, crying, "I'm so proud of you." Her father, silent as always, handed her a small wrapped box. Inside was a stethoscope with her name engraved on it. "I couldn't see it before," he said softly, "but you've become more than I ever imagined." Amara didn't need the apology. She just nodded and smiled. That same year, she got a job at a private hospital. She moved into a small apartment with Zaria. She painted the walls yellow and filled the shelves with books and toys. Zaria was now curious, smart, always asking questions. Why do people get sick? How does a baby grow in the tummy? What does a nurse do? Amara smiled and answered patiently. One evening, while they were watching the stars through the window, Zaria asked, "Did you want me?" Amara pulled her close. "More than anything," she said. "You saved me." Zaria tilted her head. "But everyone was mean to you because of me." "Yes," Amara said, "but they were wrong. And I proved it." Zaria smiled, and her eyes sparkled like the stars outside. Years later, Amara would go on to open a small clinic in her hometown. She helped young girls, struggling mothers, and people who had nowhere else to turn. She started a support group for teen mothers. She told her story without shame, without fear, because she knew that her pain had given birth to her purpose. One day, a young girl walked into her clinic, crying, shaking, scared. "I'm pregnant," she whispered. "Everyone's going to hate me." Amara held her hand and said, "I know how that feels, but you're not alone." She gave her hope, just like she had once needed someone to do for her, and from that moment on, Amara knew she had not just proved them wrong. She had become a light for others, because no mistake, no failure, no challenge had defined her. Love had, strength had, and her daughter her reason, her fire, her future was the proof of it all.